Hi, everyone. I'm coming here today to respond to a message I received from a friend on Facebook. She wrote me and asked why I stay so positive during dark events and why I won't focus on the bad things that are happening in the world. Why do I make all these happy posts? Why don't I address the bad things? Well, the truth is, I am addressing those things. I'm just doing it in a different way than maybe somebody else. I believe in balancing dense energy with love and joy as much as I can. And I also occasionally post to remind all of us to have boundaries and know thyself. The other truth here is that most of my posts are for me. I need inspiration. I need inspiration to remember who I am and who I want to be, the place where God stands on this earth to radiate unconditional love. The posts also make me feel good and empowered. And all I want to do is share those feelings with the world because the way we meet situations creates the reality we live in. Reacting with fear and anger and guilt and shame only adds to that fire out there. It's like throwing gasoline on a blaze. When we meet challenges with love and respect and as much joy as possible, we're not only smothering those flames, we're keeping the hate from winning. And we're opening the door to a deeper understanding of others without losing ourselves. It could be the fear of differences that has caused this major divide and polarized us. Precisely at a time then we all should be banding together and drawing closer, joining together as a nation, as a global community. You know, I've always believed that we're here to balance the world and live in harmony. And I've always stated that it's not one side or the other that needs to be eradicated or to have supreme control. I believe we're here to share life experiences and opinions and to respect those differences and to celebrate the diversity and the cultural richness that makes life beautiful and interesting in a heart space of coherence. So now that I've said all that, I'm going to actually address my friend's points and speak directly to today's social climate, if I may. So, scroll through any social media feed, and it's clear polarization sells and outrage gets clicks. From government podiums to boardrooms, even pulpits, leaders of every kind are modeling abrasive language and win at all cost tactics. It isn't really new. So think about how the presidential debates in recent decades have declined from civility and expressing opinions and platforms to normalizing public mudslinging, to normalizing bullying. But today it feels even sharper now, as if hostility has become the default setting to public life. Let's face it, the real truth of government and the honor was lost from politics long ago. Across every sphere, political, social, familial, organizational, entrepreneurial, leaders who once modeled respectful debate are now resorting to tactics that breed division. Why? What does that show our children? Especially when during political arenas, they're told by teachers to watch those debates for a grade. I used to recoil every time my daughter would have to listen to a debate. I'd have to sit there and say, wow, what did that make you feel like? And then she would talk about it. She would express her feelings like, why are they being mean to each other and bringing up their personal lives and not talking about the politics or their platforms? And I was like, yes, she gets it. It's awesome. But not every parent sits with their child during those debates. Not every parent is sitting there and explaining and asking how the child feels. Because what message are we sending if those very debates display bullying instead of civil discourse? Who's protecting these young minds from the idea that name calling and belittling are acceptable? And then they get in trouble for bullying kids at school. And it continues, it's a vicious cycle. What happened to teaching them how to listen deeply, to disagree respectfully, and to honor else's opinion without violence or ridicule? Knowing that you can have your opinion, I can have mine, and I'm still me. But the growing polarity of our world is staggering. People see the guns, which are the glaring surface issues. I agree. But there's not a lot of talk about the deeper truth. It's the people, people who have grown up being shaped by negative programming and who potentially have unhealed mental health struggles. Those are the people that pull the trigger of the gun. Has there been one mass shooting yet or assassination that was committed by someone who was sound of mind? Has there? Maybe it's just time we looked outside of ourselves and checked in with the people in your life, your neighbors, your coworkers, fellow students who seem distant and seem as if they're okay. But check in with your feelings. Maybe just sharing love and time is what's needed. Maybe just emanating love. Look, I don't pretend to know all the answers here. I just know what feels right for me. And what feels right for me is where I came from, the unconditional love of God and the universe, creation itself. If it's true that we're all created in that image of unconditional love, then aren't we too capable of extending unconditional love as well? Aren't we too that? That doesn't mean we have to like everything or that we have to be a carpet for someone to wipe their feet on and dump their loads on. We don't have to do that. We are sovereign beings who have a right to our opinions and our choices and our way of life. We just don't have a right to push it on someone else. We can listen to them, we can allow them, or we can walk away, but it's not ours to take someone's voice away in any way, shape, or form. You don't want to listen to them, walk away. You don't want to listen to them, turn off the news. And we have the right, once again, to do all of this. It's our way of navigating this amazing life on this spinning rock floating somewhere in the vastness of the unknown. We're never alone. Never. Even when we feel like we are. And we're never meant to erase one side or belief system. This is a life of duality. Light and shadow must exist for a reason. It's called balance. And lasting change cannot come from one person alone. But each person can emanate that change. And it must arise from a collective consciousness of minds and hearts resonating in coherence and in harmony. I don't know about you, but I stand as one of those hearts and minds, and I will continue to post positivity. I stand for balance, harmony, love, and understanding. Will you stand with me? I sure hope so. And no matter what, if you don't stand with me and you don't believe what I said and you don't agree with me, that's okay. I love you anyway. I send my love to you. Remember, we don't have to like everything in this world, but love is the answer. Love is the only answer out there. It was what we came from, it's who we are, and it's who we need to return to. I love you. Have a beautiful, blessed day.